And as I walked through the door, David Chen right there gave me a picture of me doing the ceremony in 1983. You can only do the ceremony when you have a new lion, and in the old days, it cost a lot. It was more than $1,000 in the 1970s. Today, they cost less than that. So we haven't had inflation for the lions. And when I was young, a troop of 2 lions, you would say, wow, they're a wealthy troop. But today, they would have hundreds. Let me give you a bit of history about Chinese lions. Now, lions are not found in China. They're not indigenous to China. The first time we have on record of the Chinese having a real live lion was in 87 AD, near the beginning of the Han Dynasty, when China first conquered portion of the Silk Road. So some of the countries on the Silk Road started giving a live lion to the Chinese court as tribute. And ever since then, we have lion dancing. Mainly the style done in the north that's very shaggy. They look like real lions. But this is our southern lion, and it looks very different. Now, the southern lion didn't come about until about 1850s. And the Chinese in Guangdong, where most of the Chinese in America come from, they had a lot of civil war during that time. The Taiping Rebellion, and there was this opera performer named Li Wenmao, and he joined the Taiping and started rebelling against the Qing dynasty, but he lost. By 1854 or so, he was killed in Guangxi, and so the emperor forbade Cantonese opera to be performed because these were the rebels. Li Wenmao was with the Cantonese opera troupe. So he stopped it. Now, so where can these opera performers, what can they do to make a living? Many of them joined outsider troops. Canton was controlled by the 13 Hangs. These are merchants picked by the emperor to do trade with Westerners. And they brought in a lot of troops from outside of Canton, and because they were the wealthiest, they controlled that. And on a side note, one of these merchants named Ho Kwa, he was the wealthiest man in the world in the early 1800s, because he controlled the trade, all trade, with China and the Western world. And he liked Americans, because the American traders in China doing business didn't have a military behind the American merchants, whereas the British, the Germans, the Russians, they all came with military. So he liked the Americans because the Americans didn't have the power, the military power behind them. And he especially liked a person named John Murray Forbes, and he kind of took him in as a son. And John Forbes, by the age of 25, already made his fortune and decided to come back to America. And Ho Kwa gave him $1 million to invest in America when John Forbes came back. And John Forbes put the $1 million into building the railroad system around Chicago. So today, if you go to John Forbes' ancestral home, his descendants keep a painting of Ho Kwa in the ancestral home saying, this was our benefactor. He's the one that gave us money. So this relationship with China goes back to the early 1800s, where China was financed. The Chinese not only built the railroad, in the 1860s, but in the early 1800s, the Chinese financed the railroad. So that's just an aside, because this is a Chinese Historical Society, I have to mention that. Now, because of the rebellion and the Cantonese opera was not able to perform, the performers actually got jobs at other troupes, non-Cantonese opera troupes. But the tumblers, the people that play lesser roles, they had no job. So they thought about taking what was at the time, a Anhui line that looks like a shield, and start doing the line dance performance to make a living. But they need a better line, so they went to the paper lantern makers and designed this. Now, you've seen lines in the zoo, and they don't look like this. Our lines here, I'm going to move your head a bit back, sorry, so people can see. Later on, you can come and see it. So by 1850, we have real lines. We have real lines in our zoo. So the Chinese actually knew what lines look like, but they decided to design this. Now, why do the Chinese perform line dancing? 90% of the Chinese will tell you Chinese perform line dancing to ward off evil spirits. But what does that mean? What does that really mean? If I were to ask the line dancers here, can you describe to me what are these evil spirits? What do they look like? What do they do? Chances are they can't tell you. If you ask them, do you believe in these evil spirits? They probably would say no. Maybe 90% said no. And then you ask them, how does this dance scare off the evil spirits? They probably can't tell you. But the next time they perform, they're going to tell the audience, we Chinese perform line dancing to ward off evil spirits. Right? That's fine. It's harmless unless you were a young Chinese person in the audience, in the school, you're 6, 7, 8 years old, the adults have just said this, and they leave. Your friends come and ask you, you're Chinese, what does this mean? Then you're kind of stuck. And this is what we call microaggression today. Things we say about ourselves and others without really thinking it through, but it could do psychological harm in the long term. So why do we really do line dance? To ward off evil spirits. And I'll explain. This lion looks the way it does. It has this metal mirror in the front that's supposed to absorb the yang, or the good qi, energy in the universe, to absorb it and then project it out. And then why does the lion have a horn? These two pom-poms right next to the eye. The nose usually should be painted green. All these fangs down here with a big tongue. Right down the middle. For the Cantonese, that's very important. So this is like a fang shang si. This is a shaman to ward off evil spirits. The Chinese shaman that has a horn, has 4 eyes. So these two pom-poms act as the 2 extra eyes. If you're seeing it from this side, they're next to the eyes, and they're the eyes. The nose is in the shape of a ru yi, which means as you wish. Everything turns out as you wish. And the fang shang si also has these fangs, big teeth, wide mouth, and for the Cantonese, it has to have a tongue that's very prominent, because the Cantonese word for tongue is lei. And the word for profit is also lei. So to have great profit. So when the lion goes into a store to bless the store, the lion should go lick the cash register to make sure the store has profit the coming year. So there's a lot of things related to the lion. The painting of the lion should be like opera, face. They all have meaning. Now, traditionally, a Chinese lion would not have these colors. An older institution like the Chinese Historical Society of America, we're 62 years old. We should have a multicolored lion with a white colored beard as an elderly gentleman of 62 years old. But this is a great gift we have, very auspicious because of the red. Thanks to Mike Mack, he donated this to us. So we're going to do the ceremony to dot the I's to awaken the dragons. When I was young, we only dot the I's, but today they want to dot the whole body. So we're going to do that. And I think I have a traditional saying that we do, and we should put the flowers around the ribbon to decorate. Maybe you can put it in. And the reason we do this is when someone passed the civil service exam, we tie. That's a great achievement to be able to pass that civil service exam. We do tie a ribbon around the scholar and give him these golden flowers. So we're really saying this lion is also a scholar because the Chinese word for lion is sizi. Si is also means a teacher, someone that teaches. So this lion is part of the Cantonese opera school. So basically it's storytelling. He's telling a story, but not by saying it, singing it, but by pantomime. He's going to perform a story. Normally they're moral story, uplifting stories. Today he's going to do a water basin. And I see there's a big orange inside. The orange, the word for orange is gak. And a big one is dai gak, which sounds the same as big luck or auspiciousness. So this ceremony is bringing auspiciousness to everyone. We usually start off the ceremony with drumming, a little drumming, to invite the ancestors to come down with us. And right now I would like to invite the spirit of our founders. We have H.K. Wong, C.H. Kwok, Thomas Wu, Qinghua Li, and Thomas Chin. I would like these spirits to join us when we start playing the drum, as well as with Philip Chin, Himart Lai, and Philip Choi, and William Hoy. These were all the original historians and founders of this organization. So you can have just a little drum roll to let them know we're having a ceremony and invite them. Thank you. So hopefully all these ancestors are now with us. For the Chinese, we really don't worship our ancestors, we venerate them. Some people say we worship them, and this is the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church misinterpreted our rituals, not the Jesuits, but the Franciscans and the Dominicans. So if you look up rights controversy, is between the Catholic Church saying the Chinese, do they really worship their ancestors or they do rituals? I would say we do rituals. We do use the word bai. Bai can mean worship. So bai, si is to worship, but actually, this time of the year we go bai li. we go and visit our friends and relatives, spend time with them, talk to them. And that is the real meaning of Bai. So today we're asking all our ancestors to be here, the people whose shoulder we stand on, to join us with this ceremony. And this is very healthy psychologically for the Chinese. So we're going to start the ceremony right now. Majestic energy binds heaven and man, and auspicious lion fulfilling his plan. Now we will dot the I's. Do the mirror first. Do the mirror first, yes. This is Bob Chin. He's a supporter of CHSA, and he's doing the honor of dotting the I's. Now we're going to dot the ears. And for the Chinese, it's always the left, stage left first, then stage right. Ears that follow the whispering ear, left touches heaven, right reaches earth's care. Now we're going to do the nose. A nose that spans the world is might dispel all evil, bringing light. Next is the mouth. With sharp teeth and a mighty shout, his roar shakes the cosmos throughout. Now the horn. A single horn that the cosmos shakes, a brilliant glow in its wake. Now the body. The lion stands with endless grace, eternal life, and boundless space. Now the left foot, always left first. Left foot steps on 7 stars bright. The world finds peace and delight. Now the right foot. Right foot treads on wind and clouds, subduing dragons and tigers proud. Smooth are the waters, the winds align, drum resound with fortune divine. And that concludes in the line of the line. Another big hand for them. That was really joyous. And if you have questions about the line dance, I'll be here for a few more minutes. You can come and ask. But thank you for coming, and thank you, Wong, line dance group.
Would you like